Hi, Liz. How are
Hi, I'm
you?
good, doing good.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. My name is Liz Theroux. I'm the program assistant for the 4-year program at Elaine Marieb College of Nursing, and I have been in nursing since 2003, 23 years. But I've been on the campus since 1992.
What is your favorite part about working here?
Students. That's my favorite part. I love my coworkers, I love my faculty, but the students are what keep me here.
And what about them?
It's just sometimes they just need the affirmation. They need somebody in their corner. They can pop in anytime. I always have a jar of candy on my desk. If they're stressed out, they can sit down, have a conversation with me, and it could be about anything. And then they go on their merry way, and then they seem to do better, and etc. It's being a mom here. I think that's what I enjoy best. It's like being the den mother here of the College of Nursing.
Was this like this when you first started in 2003?
Was it like this with the students? No, it just built up over the years, especially as I was getting older. When I was hired here, I was doing very well, but it's taken the initiative and flying with it. And that was the recommendation that I got, and I did.
And what hats do you wear on any typical day here?
Besides having the students can pop in anytime to see me, I take care of, obviously, the undergraduate student records. I take care of faculty needs. There's normal secretarial stuff that you do. You copy papers and you file stuff and you create folders and you all the secretarial stuff that I do. And depending on what the season is, like right now, I'm in the throes of planning the pinning for May already, trying to get all the little pieces together. And now on top of this, I'm lucky enough to have a trainee that I get to turn my job over to, and then the time to train her well, so it's not overwhelming.
Because you plan on retiring.
I plan on retiring in August, before the new semester starts, to not just retire, but to do the move in the fall, that moving back to Maryland, my hometown.
Can you talk about your life before coming to UMass and growing up in Maryland?
I grew up in a small town called Glenburnie. In actuality, it was Ferndale. We grew up in a normal 1960s neighborhood. I went to a Catholic school for 8 years, and then I went to the public high school in the area in Linthicum at Andover High School in Linthicum, and graduated from there, then went on to Towson, commuted to Towson from home, which was, if you took a bus, it was like 2 hours. If you took a car, it was like an hour to get there back and forth. Because I was the oldest of 6 children in a Polish family. My parents were immigrants. There was no money to live at school. I was lucky enough to be able to go where I wanted to go. And I graduated with a degree in personnel administration. At that time, that's what it was called.
After you graduated, what did you do?
Got married. I got married a week after college graduation. Did the marriage stick? Well, for 19 years it stuck, and then it didn't.
And raised a family.
And raised a family. I have 2 children. I have a daughter. She is a nurse. I graduated her in 2003 from this program. She has 4 children, so I have 4 grandchildren. And then I have a son. He just got a new job, and he'll be moving to Colorado.
What was it like to have your own daughter in the program?
It didn't affect much for me. I think her friends were friends with me more than my daughter was at that time. They always came in to see me, and then every once in a while, they used to kind of sit around. In those days, you just sat around the desk, and that was how it started. I had students that they come back now. When they need a transcript and they call me, or they call me to see if a professor's there, a lot of them are surprised I'm still there. Oh, I'm so happy you're still here. So it's been a journey, and the faculty have been wonderful. I've always been an assistant to the faculty. That's how I learned to know about the program, with their syllabi and having to print tests for them and that kind of thing. And then staff. I mean, they're some of my best friends that have been here forever. Annie York, Karen Ayotte, and the newbies that come along, and and how many people across campus I know because of the other things that I do, like pinning and commencement and, that kind of thing.
I do want to talk about the recent award that you received. So can you talk about what was the award?
This is the Staff Excellence Award from the Provost office. I got a letter when it was up for the thing. I just kind of said, okay. I said it would be nice to thought to myself, it would be nice to get that on my way out the door. And I didn't even think twice about it until I got the letter from the Provost office and saying that I was a candidate. In the letter was a lot of comments from faculty and students and staff, and that was what was really humbling. I mean, yeah, there's a financial piece to it. That's nice too, but it was just what people said about me.
Do you remember what some of those things were?
That I was the backbone of the college, that I was the mom, that I was, the go-to person. It was that kind of stuff.
And how did that make you feel to read that?
Humbling, honored. I felt like that my job was a good job here. I never thought about leaving to go into another position because I've never been that way. I'm still from the old school of you get yourself into one position and you retire from there. And yes, I was in the registrars first and then I came here, but this was my niche. And this is where I wanted to be. And I was happy that 23 years, the College of Nursing, and gave me respect because a lot of times with staff, in the old days, it was like this. Staff wasn't considered much. Now it's a whole different ballgame. Faculty, directors, etc., for all of us staff. There is that level of respect for us because we live the program with the students. We have to know the program as much as the faculty does. And that was the piece that I had gotten the message on really well because I do know my program.
What advice would you give to new nursing students?
Pass your boards first. The world is open to you. Decide what you want to do with it. And remember, you have to start at the beginning, which means contrary to what you think your schedule is going to be, you have to understand you're going to be on the grunt of the schedules. You're going to work nights, you're going to work weekends, etc. And it's all part of the process. And just follow the process. And just always remember why you decided to become a nurse.
And is there any parting wisdom or hopes that you have for EMCON after you retire?
That it continues to have the leadership it has. Any dean or head of a department that cares for everybody in the department, whether it be students or staff or faculty, that's the person to lean on.
What would you like to say to the EMCON community?
Thank you for the years that I've had here. You've made it such a joy to work here. Every day was a new experience. It was still a joy to come in here every single day that I did. And knowing that, yeah, the day may not change to what I had planned the day to be, but that's the nature of the business.
And what does life look like for you after retirement?
I am planning downsizing. I plan in the fall to move to Maryland, back to my home. What am I going to do for fun? To be honest, my ultimate pleasure is I love the Baltimore Orioles, and I always have for many, many years. My dream job would be working in the front office as a receptionist. 15, 20 hours a week, that's it. That's my dream job. What else I plan to do is to be active, but I want to travel some, and typical what retirees want to do. I just want to stay healthy enough to do it all.
Anything else that you want to add?
This is not the end. This is just a Auf Wiedersehen till we meet again.